Hi, good night, and welcome to the next episode of Where the Culture Gone. This week, we have a special guest here. And you know, in history, we always heard about the drum. I have Salif Richard Smith with me tonight to give me a taste of what he has been doing for the past couple of years when it comes to drum and the art of music. History has served that the drum was one of the most instrumental tools used on the plantations when it comes to the slaves. It was said to be very frightening for the white masses and the ones in charge of supremacy and control over the black people. But it was also one of the first methods of what we call internet, social media, because the drum was a messenger. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you one of my big friends, Salif Richard Smith. We'll be right back after these few messages.
Fetish Nail Studios. All acrylic tips, toe tips, pedicures, eyebrow shaping, facial waxing. Call 833-6147. Fetish Nail Studios.
Check out PJ's Variety, Sergeant Village Christchurch, Village Shop, Restaurant and Bar, where service is at its best. COVID-19 protocols will be in effect.
It is the most controversial book in the world, the book of all debates. According to the Guinness World Book of Records, as of 1995, it is the best-selling book of all time, with an estimated 5 billion copies sold. Join us on this epic journey as we examine the Bible, right here on the Real Bajan Network.
Hi, we are back. I'm here today with Salif. I must say again, one of the biggest drummers in Barbados and throughout the Caribbean. Richard, did you get involved in the art form?
The answer to this question is very interesting. I went to school at Garrison Secondary School, still to my mind, the best school in Barbados.
Wow.
And we had the Garrison Secondary Steel Orchestra. And a number of my friends were in there. They were really, a couple of them were still in the music industry. You have Neil Burnett, he was the drummer for Crossfire. You have Andre Ford, one of the tutors at Barbados Community College for Steel Band. And, you know, I used to hang on the band all the time. And one day Neil looked at me and asked me, so why you don't just join the band? And I was like, well, I can't play steel band. Neil said, but that's the beauty of it. You know, you will learn to play. So I actually wanted to play steel band first. I did not want to be a drummer. But when I spoke to the arranger and the teacher for the band, Mr. David Hutchison, he told me, well, unfortunately, the one thing that he has available are a brand new set of Conga drums that he bought, and that would be the only thing that I would be able to play right now. So I was like, okay, well, you know, entry level, no problem. I don't know heads or tails about playing drums, but I give it a shot. At that time, the band used to work about 7 jobs. Yes, 7 jobs,
Wow.
6 nights a week. So we used to perform every day except, I think, Wednesdays. And we used to perform twice on Sundays. So picture this, me in full form, which means I'm about 14, 15 years old, in a functioning steel band, performing every single night between the hours of 8 to 11 p.m.
Time.
And that's how my career started. Our principal at that time told us, well, if you're going to do this thing, guys, you have to keep your grades up. And we had no choice. She made us all prefects. And that's how my career started. From there, I went on under the tutelage of David Headley. And that's where I really, really, really found my love for percussion, because I branched out from just playing congas to all different types of drums, including djembe, which has now become my best instrument, the instrument that I love the most. So yeah, that's basically my story about how I get into drumming.
Yes, have seen you have called some names, David Haley, which I would have known him for a reasonable amount of time. Mr. Hutchison too, he also had a teaching class with the Israel Foundation in Steel Band. I think your journey was an interesting journey from the time it started. But how long or which group are you most affiliated with, and what is the role that you play there?
this question, this question can got a lot of answers. Which group am I with, and what's my role? Basically, I'm what we call a freelance percussionist. So I play with basically any group that asks for my services. I
Okay.
am one of the lead drummers at the Israel Level Foundation. Um, for the last 2 or 3 years, I have started my own company, which is called Solid Roots Entertainment.
Great. All right.
So I am the managing director of that. I also play with Dance in Africa as the lead drummer.
Mhm.
I play with 1688 Orchestra as one of the percussionists. Um, who else I play with? Basically, as I said, any group that wants my services.
Yes.
I am also the musical director, funny enough, of Celebrations of Rhythm, which is a D.L. Smith production show
So yeah.
tracing the arrival of the English to Barbados and our African roots and our Barbadian history. So those are just some of the groups that I play with. I also play tub bass, the lead bassist with the Pompasetters tub orchestra, which was formed by David Headley, Frog, or
Frog,
Carl
yeah.
Smith. Everybody knows he is Frog,
Frog,
and
yeah.
myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just ask that we be excused at this point of time. During the period of COVID, we keeping protocol in place in terms that we are in our studio, but picking up Richard via his phone. And you know, technology is, and it's a bit busy in this area, so we will have to bear this evening with the duration of the rest of the show. Thank you very much. We'll be right back after this message.
For all your insurance needs, health insurance, life insurance, car, marine, or home insurance, even your business insurance, contact Daniel Austin at 257-6455 or email dnatashaAustin@gmail.com.
We are back. This question I'm going to ask for sure, they might expose you a bit. I want to know how long you was in the business and how far have this jamology, jam sessions, jam parties have taken you in terms of performances.
Oh, you're trying to make me feel old now. Nostalgia. As I told you, I started when it was around 4-form. 4-form for me was back around 1996. Yeah, you know, I don't look it right, a little nicer. But so if we do our maths, that should be about 25 years. Yeah, I never really gave it much thought doing, you know, but yeah, around 25 years I've been playing. Where has music taken me? Wow. If I had a musical passport, boy, Skillets, if I had a musical passport, music has taken me. My very first trip for music was in 1998. And of all places, I went to Mexico, B.
Wow.
Mexico. So I've been to Mexico, I've been to England, I've been to Canada, I've been to the USA extensively, I've been to the Caribbean even more extensively. But if I was to keep calling each individual place that I went, I probably hear listed places for about 5 years. And that's the beauty about music. It takes me all over the entire world.
That's great, man. How does the future look for the arts in Barbados or in the world in general?
Asking me this question in the middle of a pandemic, I would think at this time, most musicians probably would tell you, the future look bleak for me. But, that's only because of this time. But I think the future looks fairly okay. I mean, we have the stand-home parties. I know that's caused a lot of talk with the older generation. But to me, that's looking at the future of music. Because now we gone from not only reaching a live audience that is there in front of us, we are now connecting with an audience on a worldwide level. Things like that, things like what you're doing with this YouTube channel, things like what other people doing with YouTube, Instagram. You had the Versus battle internationally. So music is now taking another step and using digital platform. I mean, you were using digital platform before for things like Spotify and them sort of things. Big up to people like Trident 10 and all them sort of places locally. So if you take all of that into account, the future is looking fairly bright. What I think we need to do though is that we need to get our musicians in Barbados to a point where they find out from very, very early that music is not only for the love of playing an instrument and making a little bit of money, but they also need to look at music from the way how a normal business looks at their business. So get your stuff early, get your stuff done for early, things like branding, things like image, them sort of things, so that it'll put you in a position to make more money, to sustain yourself, and also what's important for you is to save a little bit, save a lot, because rainy days will come, vis-a-vis COVID pandemic.
I see you have rounded off to what we would call build a package and make yourself relevant in the sight of the media, or what we call show business. Make yourself be able to be compatible in terms of people asking or wanting to see or want to hear. My next question to you, Richard, is how do you attract young persons to the art form, which is so many years old, to come and be part of your group or any group? Bearing in mind we have everything in social media now, as we do in the air now, social media around the world. How do you get these youngsters involved?
Campaigning. Actually, when you go and you perform, and a lot of young people see you, they or their parents come and they ask you, my son has beat up a lot of tops and he beat the table, or my daughter does dance. How she could be like you, which is a good feeling. So yes, we got the youngsters love the social media, which is also a good thing, because I know quite a couple youngsters that came, they started with lessons, and then they went to social media, to like YouTube. And I just call it the YouTube University, because anything you want to find, you can find on YouTube. So they go to YouTube and they learn to hone their craft, because they now gone from learning from one person to open up themselves to learning from a whole host of people internationally. If you're looking at recruiting from schools is a little bit different. Schools still a little bit hesitant about understanding that the arts play a very pivotal role in a child's upbringing. Arts is where a child is getting to blow off steam from all the issues they got at home and academically. So still a little bit challenging getting schools on board in terms of understanding that the arts is a way for you to become an entrepreneur. But in general, recruiting don't necessarily be that hard, especially for things like drumming. You got a lot of young boys that come and they say they want drum. You come and you do your rehearsals, or you bring them into a rehearsal, and they'll be like, yeah, I want to do this.
it seems like the culture, the art form is still strong and prevalent within the community and the groups that Richard explained to me that people come up and ask these questions about if they could get the children involved, and at least we still have hope for the future in culture. We'll be back after these messages.
Fetish Nail Studios. All acrylic tips, toe tips, pedicures, eyebrow shaping, facial waxing. Call 833-6147. Fetish Nail Studios.
Check out PJ's Variety, Sergeant Village Christchurch, Village Shop, Restaurant and Bar, where service is at its best. COVID-19 protocols will be in effect.
And we're back. We're here with Salif again. I usually like to call him Master Drummer. I don't know if I'm using the right terms, but his action and his rhythmic tunes, and they're very inspiring. I would like to ask you, Richard, who are some of the teachers you would have seen coming up through the ranks as a drummer?
My teachers would have included persons like David Hutchison, who would have managed the Garrison Steel Orchestra. David Henley, who saw me at the Almond Beach where we were playing, the Garrison Steel Orchestra that is, and decided to take me under his wing. He has been my longest teacher. He's still there with me, still my mentor. I go to him for guidance on a lot of stuff. Danny Hines of of Sam Crawford Productions. And through Danny took my love for djembe to another level, and my understanding of African rhythms. Also, James B. Lovell, was one of my teachers also, and he's also still another constant source of information anytime I want to go there. A lot of people don't know that I actually used to, at one point in time, play the trap set. It's not something that I advertise, but it's something that I can do, and that was through James D. Lovell. We also have a host of people, like, as I said previously in so many questions, I started going to YouTube University too, so, there are persons on YouTube that I follow who are master drummers in djembe around the world. And yeah, those are basically some people that passed through my life. Some of them are very, very dear to me, and I still go to them as a source of guidance when I feel stuck. So yeah, basically those are my tutors.
Well, it seems that the drum community is alive, and the connection is there, and the vibe is there, and as you said earlier or before, the pulsating rhythms which invigorates the body and cause you to have those Afrocentric moves, it seems to be alive. My next question to you, Richard, how you see COVID in your art form? How does it feel now we are under this situation of lockdown, not sure what's happening? How is it for you?
How has COVID-19 affected my art form? Well, I'm performing. So, seriously though, there's literally no live entertainment happening right now. So there's that aspect. But there's the aspect of, you had the NCF that had the COVID-19 grants last year. They had the projects like the Art Walk and stuff. So I did have a little bit of opportunities last year to do some stuff on social media. But any performer will tell you social media performing is a totally different thing from performing to a live audience. The adrenaline, the rush, the energy you get from the audience when you're performing live. But it has forced me now to go back to the classroom. So what I'm focusing really on when I'm in the class now is that I'm delving really deep into the business part of music, because I find that not only myself, but a lot of people, they don't look into the business part of music, and then things like COVID-19 happen, or things that you get, as simple as you're getting older and there are younger artists that are out there that are more attractive to promoters than you. And because you have not done your due diligence with running your business properly, you are in the place where a lot of artists are right now because of the pandemic, where you're not getting the jobs, you're not getting the stream income, you haven't probably put aside a portion of your income for the rainy day, so you are stuck. And there's the reality of so many artists, not only here in Barbados, but around the world. Most artists are stuck because we live for the moment, but we don't live for the future. And that is for me, if I really want to sum up how COVID-19 has affected my art form, it has basically sent me from not only being a performer, but now looking at being the manager of the performer. So do your research, plan ahead, save for a rainy day, because a rainy day is always going to come.
That's really what we call a class away from the class in terms of turning your art form into business form and managing in terms of in case of emergency, as you have seen how we are living at this point in time. Let me be right back after these messages. Yes, and we are back again with Salif. I just want you to ask you, Salif, now for your final question in our discussion this week, which was very intriguing. Do you have anybody you especially would like to shout out or kudos to? It's your time now.
First and foremost, I got to shout out to the big man upstairs, who has been playing a part in my life that, a lot of people don't understand. I am not a Christian person, but I'm a very spiritual person. So I look to him for guidance a lot. I got to shout out my family, my number one supporter, my girlfriend, my wife, my business partner, my number one supporter, my costume designer, my costume assistant, that is Lady Shanaka, and my children, who are amongst my number one supporters. My family at Israel Love Foundation, because without Israel Love Foundation, I would have not done 3/4 of the stuff that I have done and been seen on stages by other persons that would have wanted my talent. I gotta shout out my mom. My mom has been my rock. She understood from the time I made the decision at 16 years old to be a full-time entertainer. She said, listen, you see this banjo thing, ain't nothing that people just do and make money. But if there's what you want to do, go on do it. Follow your dreams. And from then until now, she's been there. All of Barbados be one of people beautiful, you know what I mean? If a Barbadian audience can love you, anybody else in the world can love you, B. Yeah. I got shout out my posse at Santoris, the drivers at Santoris. I was working at Santoris through 14 years of my career. My management at Santoris has always been good to me in terms of letting me travel the world on their time, because that's what we used to call it, giving me my vacation leave early, giving me my leave and all that stuff. So they also played a big role in helping me to get where I had to get. Everybody.
It was nice having you here, Richard, and your company has been well taken. And I know the audience had a thirst for more of this Radio Culture Gone, and you have filled the void in educating us about some of the many things that of the questions we have asked, and the answers were direct and straight, and they were very informative. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go this week, I have 2 messages I received, and one was my lady friend. She said, "But Skillet, don't call my name, but I want you to know culinary arts is also a part of our culture." So I know she's going to be done with cocoa and flying fish, very herring and biscuit, whatever it is, buljo, and the well-known pudding and So that is part of our culture as well. Our food, so big up all the people in the food business. There's one more again. Another friend of mine, she said, Skillet, you ask everybody to shout out somebody. And I never hear you shout out anybody. Well, today I'm going to shout out Cheryl Head from the Israel Love Foundation. She has been very inspiring and inspirational in my life, involving in the arts. And Mr. Trevor Prescott, the owner director of the Israel Love Foundation. I have to say a big up and welcome to my show. And I hope that you keep viewing, keep messaging, subscribe. You can subscribe, you can share, and please do like and keep the views going up. So from me to you, have a wonderful evening. Remember, keep protocol in place as we are in COVID, and we must stay safe. So stay safe, and I'll see you next week with Where the Culture Gone.